we're doing Desperado now. I'm casting all kinds of people. Now I have this character that I want to have a bunch of knives. He opens up his vest and there's a bunch of knives. So bring me all the coolest looking, Latin actors we can find. And before he even walked in, there's a picture of him. He already looked like the guy, but he was younger. He always just played prison inmates. It was a picture of him as an inmate in a prison. I want to give him a cool role, whoever this actor is. He walks in and I see him. It's Danny Trejo. He sits down and I had the prop knife already made. And I say, you need to have this in your hand and look like you sleep with it. Like just practice flipping it around your hand. And I gave it to him. You got the role. Just start practicing with that. And he gets up and walks out. He didn't have to say anything because there's no dialogue. He walks up. We get to the set. He kept saying, put me in, coach. Give me a line. Give me a line. It's like, no, you're such a nice guy. You're going to blow the whole mystique. I want this guy to feel like the most evil, scary guy of all. And you're such a nice guy. I didn't let him talk till Dusk Till Dawn. But one thing I noticed was that the town we shot in, the Mexican town, which is the same town I shot Mariachi. We went back there because I wanted to pay back the city. So we had this big movie there. And they didn't really know Antonio because he was in European movies. Salma hadn't come to the set yet. But they saw Danny Trejo there in his vest, looking like a Mexican icon. They would go like this. Everyone thought he was the star. And I just know magnetism when I see it. And I went, this guy's got something. So I went to him and I said, I got a movie we're going to do someday. This was 94. We didn't make this movie for 15 years. Machete. You're going to be Machete. I had an idea for Machete then. It wasn't the same story. I had seen a story. Actually, Mariachi, the guy from Mariachi, sent me this funny story. He said, hey, look at this story. That the US DEA and FBI sometimes would hire a Mexican federale to come do a job for 25 grand that they didn't want to get their own guys killed on. I said, that's Machete, the guy that they pay. But he's not doing it for the money. It turns out he has to get this guy that escaped Mexico. And that's the twist. So that was the original story I had. I said, we're going to do this someday. And we talked about it for years and never did it. Never got around to doing it. So when I did Spy Kids, I put him in Spy Kids and I said, hey, let's pay tribute to that character we never got to make and you'll be Uncle Machete. He's a gadget guy, but he's got a mysterious past. But then a few years later, Quentin and I were doing Grindhouse. And he'd already done Dusk Till Dawn with me. I was building my own Latin star system. Salma showed up in a bunch of my movies. Cheech shows up in every movie. Danny shows up there. I brought Cheech out of retirement and put him in my movie. I needed to create my own Latin star system because all my scripts, because when you write in your own voice, you're going to write probably somebody that's Latin, so you need to have a star system that matches that so that you don't have trouble casting and people are like, well, you can't hire this person. So I built up my own star system. So Danny was one of my stars. So after we're doing Grindhouse, we had to do fake trailers for Grindhouse. And I told Quentin, I know what trailer I'm going to do for the movie I never got to make with Danny called Machete. That'll be so fun. Finally get that out of our system. And doing a trailer is so fun. It's 2 days of shooting. Just still being that resourceful guy, we asked this company that had a digital camera we wanted to use. Can you let us send it to us for a couple of days camera test? Instead of shooting a camera test, we shot the trailer. So we got a free camera, shot the trailer with him. And it's just the money shots. Him opening his vest full of machetes, him aiming that gun, him in a waterfall with two gals. And I just came up with this really funny trailer and we shot it. People were screaming at the premiere. You couldn't even hear it. They just wanted that movie so badly because there was blaxploitation in the 70s. There was never mexploitation. It felt like this should have existed, but it didn't. This Mexican superhero, they just never seen anything like that. Now but like even his mom calls him Machete. Like he just became this guy. And of 250 movies that he's been in, Machete is his most famous one. So for 5 years, people would come up to us and say, where's Machete? When's that movie coming out? And we're like, it's not a real movie, but when it looks real, we want to see that movie. So we finally made the movie because people just asked for it. And I was adamant about being resourceful again. All those shots that are in the trailer are really great. I got to reverse engineer the trailer into a movie so that I can use that shot that's in the trailer. Like this girl in the waterfall. Why would this girl be in the waterfall? I thought of a really clever way that he gets the bad guy. Her face is kind of covered by this hair. We'll cast Lindsay Lohan there, or the senator will switch it out for Robert De Niro. Well, I just reverse engineer it. So every time there's a shot in the trailer, it's in the movie but I shot all the footage around to lead up to it. That's another fun creative exercise, is to reverse engineer something you just did like this on the day. You just threw a bunch of cards out basically with that trailer. And now you got to go make a movie using all those cards. That's like a creative exercise that I thought so satisfying, so fun.